So Timothy Snyder, the author of On Tyranny: 20 Lessons from the 20th Century, has recently left the United States for Canada due to fears of rising movements of fascism and corporatism in the United States. Now, it feels almost bizarre, but I have been actually considering leaving the country and living somewhere else. And I genuinely don't want to. I think that it feels wrong because there are other people who are more vulnerable than I am. I also believe that there are institutions that are in place that can help protect against the rise of Trump and his attempts to assert an authoritarian regime. But I want to mainly highlight one of his laws in response to Cory Booker's stance on the Senate floor earlier this week. Law number 8 of On Tyranny is to stand out, meaning that whatever it is that you do, don't be afraid to stand out, and this can inspire people to follow your example. And Cory Booker, standing on the Senate floor for 25 hours, it did that. It might be considered symbolic. It might be considered just a form of stalling. But it did establish that people do support this behavior and that it is okay to be openly defiant of the Trump administration. Now, I'm not a fan of what's going on, and I've been contacting my representatives asking them to do more. But understand this, that there are a lot of people doing a lot of great things in order to help prevent authoritarianism from rising in the United States. Don't for a second believe that nothing is being done. Don't for a second believe that there aren't people actively trying to protect the Constitution. The judicial branch has been trying to do that. It also needs to be understood from a point of perspective that this has happened in other countries. We have seen authoritarian regimes rise in other countries, and those people have gotten through it. What's so frustrating is that the Constitution of the United States was supposed to prevent this from happening, and there is no reason nor justification for authoritarianism in the United States, but unfortunately that structure did not uphold, and we are now in this current situation. That's another thing to understand that's also Law 1 of this book. Do not agree in advance. Do not for a second assume that all is lost or there isn't still something worth fighting for. There absolutely is. And we have seen this a great deal this week, actually, like with the Wisconsin Supreme Court race, where it showed that money isn't everything in politics, which was really refreshing to see. That's the important thing to understand about tyranny, is that it has to be consented to, and their hope is that you will be too exhausted to say anything or to protest them asserting power over you. But if you continue to make noise, if you avoid self-censorship, if you continue to stand out, it does make a difference, like with what Senator Booker did a few days ago.